What's going on, everybody? My name is Aiden and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, there is an article on Give Me Sport. I believe that's the article name, or the company writing the article, that actually grades the Chicago Bulls and all the moves they have done thus far. And of course, we've done quite a bit of moves, ladies and gentlemen. We were one of the first teams to kind of make trades in, obviously, this trade situation, free agency, and everything in between. And it was a very unique time for the Chicago Bulls. We haven't made much moves since then, but I think it would be quite fun to grade these, or at least give my opinion on the grades, and whether or not I'd bump it up or move it down if need be. Now, of course, this is my opinion, and unfortunately, look, as much as I try to be unbiased, I think you guys know me as someone that wants to be unbiased. There might be a little bit of bias in there as well, in all fairness, because as a Bulls fan, I'm always going to like what my team does, or at least like the idea of what my team does, until they could prove that the idea was a complete waste of time. And so far, you know, I'm liking what I'm seeing from the moves that we have made. Granted, it's not been perfect. Granted, I think we could have done a lot more, and we probably could have got a lot more, but I'm still liking the direction that we're going down. At least it is something different, and I'm excited to see what's ahead for the Bulls in many ways. But before we get any further, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to drop a like, follow, and or subscribe if you are new, and let me know in the comments below whether or not you agree with the gradings that Give Me Sports provides for the Chicago Bulls. I think, actually, to be fair, the guy that wrote this, his name is Aiden. It could have been me. It's not me, but fair play to Aiden. One day ago it was. But yeah, ultimately, yeah, feel free to let me know if you agree with, obviously, the grades and stuff of that nature, and we'll get started. So, the first thing we obviously did was trading for Josh Giddey. We traded Alex Caruso for Josh Giddey straight up, and it was a deal that, I guess, sent the NBA the message that the Bulls are trying something different. And ultimately, a lot of people didn't like this move. Aiden here actually graded this one a C+, with a little bit of a background statement saying Giddey will be solid for Chicago, but they easily could have gotten more assets. And this is actually going to be the first one I disagree with. Now, it's not going to be a major disagreement, because it's not like I'm going to throw my toys out the pram and say that's enough. I'm sick and tired of this, or whatever the case may be. But I think, personally, I'm going to move this up to a B-. Just a small change. Put it into the B- category. I think the more days that go by, the more that I like this type of deal, for a couple of reasons. Yes, I do agree. We could have got more assets for Alex Caruso. That's a statement that is undeniable. I mean, we have seen the rumors over the last couple of seasons about the trade value in return for Alex Caruso that we turned down. We probably turned down before we accepted the Josh Giddey trade. But the reason why I'm bumping this up is because I think it is clear as day that the Bulls wanted Josh Giddey for a while. That's honestly all I could really think about in terms of this situation. Is Josh Giddey better than Alex Caruso? No. He's not better than Alex Caruso. Alex Caruso is an all-NBA defender, had his best offensive season for the Bulls, and was miles better than Josh Giddey on the defensive end. It's as simple as that. And I think, you know, in terms of who wins the trade, OKC, I think, got a really great player out of this, and I would mark them higher than a B- if it was my team there, the OKC Thunder. But I think the Bulls wanted Josh Giddey for a while, and they were willing to accept less to bring him in. I still think it's criminal that we didn't get a pick, which is why I'm not going to bump it up to a B, B+, and in the A category or anything like that. But I think if the Bulls, for example, traded this player, knowing that they didn't want him long term, I think C+ would be a fair score. But I think they were actually willing to take less to get Josh Giddey in there. But we still should have got a pick, and that's the biggest mistake that I think we have made in this category. So, yeah, quite interesting. Let's move on to the next one, and that is the Chicago Bulls signing Jalen Smith to a 3-year deal, and he gave this grading a B+. And I absolutely agree with this grading, ladies and gentlemen. I think B+ is an absolutely fair score. I think the price is relatively decent that we got him in. Again, he's a player that many Bulls fans have wanted for a while, and he's going to get an opportunity here. Now, whether or not we keep Vucevic or not is a different story. I can't tell you if he's going to end up starting for the Bulls or coming off the bench for the Bulls. But one thing we know for certain is that we haven't really seen Jalen Smith get massive amounts of opportunities in the NBA as of yet. When he has played, he's done really, really well. He's provided three-point shooting last season for the Indiana Pacers, I believe it was. I think he shot over 40% from three. And if he could bring that to the Bulls, that's going to be an excellent addition. He adds some size. He's a solid defender. He likes to play a little bit physical. I think he ticks a lot of boxes that the Bulls are looking for at this point in time. Now, he's not an elite all-star level player or anything like that, but I think the acquisition itself, for what we're trying to go through with this Bulls team, going a little bit younger and trying to give more opportunities to guys, I think this is a great deal for the Bulls. I could bump it up to an A-, but I honestly think B+ is the perfect score for Jalen Smith. I have no complaints about this situation. I even like the 3-year contract as well. It all screams good stuff for me. Bulls extending Patrick Williams. He gave this one a B-, and the reason why he gave this a B- is that the contract that we gave to Patrick Williams was very pricey. Now, if you've been watching my videos for a long time, I basically said I'd be willing to accept Patrick Williams for anything under 20 million. If we were going to pay him 20 million or over, I would have a problem with that. I think it was 18 million that we ended up giving him, and that's a little bit on the pricey side, absolutely, and that is why I do agree with this deal as well. But I have said this before, I was strongly against seeing Patrick Williams leave, unless obviously a team comes in and offers crazy money, which didn't seem to have happened. So I was absolutely against seeing Patrick Williams leave because we're trying to go younger, and what better way to go younger than to keep a player that is a very good 3-and-D player at his best at least, and is relatively young, and maybe with a bigger responsibility on this team can evolve a little bit. Maybe. I'm throwing it out there, but I don't necessarily know for certain. I think it was criminal if we got rid of Patrick Williams, knowing everything that we're going to be going through this season and the new team that we have. Thankfully, the Bulls saw it in that same way. Yes, it's a bit expensive, it's a bit pricey, but I do think eventually it will be worth the contract if he can develop even further. We'll just have to wait and see, but I'm not too fussed about extending Patrick Williams. The next thing was to move on from DeMar DeRozan, and he gave this one an A, basically suggesting that it was the right time to see DeMar DeRozan leave. Ah, man. It's DeMar DeRozan, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, as much as it is the right time, it definitely is the right time. It hurts. It hurts. And this is where bias comes a little bit into it. Because when I think of it on the surface, I don't think of an A when I think of seeing DeMar DeRozan leave the Chicago Bulls. Even though it ticks all the boxes, it's the right thing to do. It was the right time to do it. And ultimately, I think the contract that DeMar DeRozan was seeking was just crazy for the Chicago Bulls. And I don't think there was any chance he was going to get $40 million from this team unless we found a way to compete. There was just no way we could have given him that type of money. It was just... Again, that to me is an indicator that we weren't even trying to win. We're just trying to keep players that, you know, can help mentor maybe, but can also keep the team the same. Continuity, you know. That's the only sign I see with keeping DeMar DeRozan for, I guess, $40 million a season. But man, it's just DeMar DeRozan. Ultimately, unbiasedly, I can agree with an A because it was the right decision. But since I am a bit biased and I will miss DeMar DeRozan, and I think he's probably one of the best players we've had in recent history, I'm going to bump it down to a B+. For me, that's my bias. But just know, if I was looking at it from an unbiased lens, it's the right move and A is the right score. That's about it. I don't think we've actually made any more moves. That's all we've done. But ultimately, those moves do signify what we're going to do in the future. But as I've said well before the Summer League, and as I will say right now, there needs to be more. We can't settle at this spot. We just can't. We need to see more. Everything's gone quiet for every team. Free agency's basically over. And that's it, you know, in the grand scheme of things. But the Bulls... It can't be it for them. They have to make some more moves. Will they do it? I hope so. Thank you guys for watching. Drop a like and a follow and or subscribe if you are new. And I will see you in the next one. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned for more. Take care. And peace.